Hello everybody, it's Brony time, and welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, which may well be the finale, depending on how fast I get through this case. I might go a little longer in this one to get to the end of the trial, but we will see how I'm feeling. But anyway, let's get right into Emma Skye's confession. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. It's a good thing you weren't harmed. I passed out. I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on dark just then. The lights went out. The lights? It was just about this time of year. There's a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out. Wait a minute. It was pitch dark in that room. You should have been able to see anything, right? Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. The sun flashed up an unforgettable image of a scene in my mind. I see. I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago? Yes. That's what's so scary about this trial. You told Detective Goodman about what you saw. Yes, but at the time the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? This picture the witness drew, I believe it is a very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, this little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture, and yet she would insist on denying its existence. Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for this case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold! This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over, turn it over. Ah! What's this? Yes, what is that? Hey, that's it! That's the picture I drew! Indeed. Two men appear to be wrestling. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? This list, they're matching. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they are torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What? Order, order. But Miss Skye, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list? Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor, are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's see. Is something wrong? Do you even have to ask? Sorry, Your Honor. There's indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing! That's... that thing? That thing that was dancing in the evidence room. Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Very well. Witness, will you please testify that the picture you drew 2 years ago? Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were the shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder Prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course, this is the exact scene. Wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives. Are you insinuating we were somehow manipulated from memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. Better watch out, or he might find some way to cut my salary. I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have been influenced me. Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture? Oh, well, that's strange. She claims it's exactly the scene as imprinted in her mind, and yet, there's clearly a contradiction here. Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, with the discretion of Damon Gant and Lana Sky. 2 or 3 days later, the memory should still have fresh in her mind. Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why the picture is painted all black? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday. Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy? The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken. And if I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See, the murder weapon on the tip is broken. I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body. It was a conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer. I'm afraid it's not so simple. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? So obviously, the victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. Ah! What's the meaning of this? Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. It was broken beforehand. It couldn't possibly wind up there. That's right, but what does this mean? The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is that when the witness's memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is an explanation. Have you forgotten already about a little something called falsified evidence? You're treading on thin ice, Wright. All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. Ah! Order, order, order! You're saying the investigation really was corrupted. Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors' award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of there being two broken knives? Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one? The witness is adamant that the accuracy of what she saw. It can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright. In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife, so please feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. The answer lies in the past, 2 years in the past, right here inside this picture. This is a picture of the award ceremony. Ah! This is the picture of the award ceremony. Ah! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award prosecutor Marshall is holding. That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's real knife. Was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Sorry, guys. Ooh. Order, order, order! Neil Marshall was awarded the King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given a broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out his knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. The broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. But that can't be. Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors' award knife was the murder weapon, then the murder and the victim would be reversed. What do you mean? I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh. Oh! The prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here? It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions. Hold it! Wait, I remember now. I remember everything. Witness, Mr. Edgeworth. What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please? This list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back? I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it. What? You drew that? That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. At this time, I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me. Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you recalled, Miss Skye? Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up and now the blue badger? This should be interesting. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward the whatever. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. This is certainly most unusual. Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. Yes, well, the defense may now cross-examine him. Stop! Please! Don't pursue this any further! Lana, what's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair! But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Just leave it at that. Chief Prosecutor Sky, we've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. Seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. His shadow. So you mean you didn't actually see his face with his winning smile and all? That's right, but I still remember it. It had 3 creepy horns. This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken. That may well be. But what is important is what caused her to think she saw what she did. Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation. If so, by all means, please tell us what the shadow really was. What was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who is the Blue Badger really? The Blue Badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the Blue Badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room. Mr. Wright? In this room. Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it the witness saw in that instant? Please show us a mysterious Blue Badger look-alike. Take that! This mysterious Blue Badger was in fact this, but what is this exactly? I believe it's some sort of jar, but Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the Blue Badger. Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. God, what? Oh my God, it won't. Oh my God, it's turning to the side. I can't get it to... Okay. Okay, I think I got it. This isn't right. I gotta make it look more like a bat. Oh my God. Objection! Allow me to remind Mr. Wright can't match. I've got to fit. Maybe I should. Come on, Mr. Wright. You can do it. Game. Oh my god. I heard that this part was annoying as fuck, but... This is getting ridiculous, you guys. This is why this case is bad, because it's just too, like... This is gonna take There we go. Oh my god, finally. Oh my god. Well, is this a miracle or what? No one can possibly deny the star's resemblance to the Blue Badger. No. It can't be! Order, order. The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious Blue Badger witness on the day of the crime was actually this. Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So the Badger thing was actually just a job. That doesn't change anything. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything. Indeed. Very well, then please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw the jar? Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. At a very specific angle, at a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright? Yes, while knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in the picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on the shelf in the office of David Gant. The body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified to... Yes, and it's these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office. Are you implying the murder moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Do you know what the reason was, Mr. Wright? I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent that jar flying? That would have to have been the impact to the man made when he knocked into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what could he have hit? Ah! The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword. Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No. Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yes. There's another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility? Possibility? Sorry, I sound like Cartman. Of course, the perpetrator would have no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Wright, what's the matter? If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away is actually prosecutor Neil Marshall. You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No! I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented! What? What are you saying? I'm sorry, Miss Guy, but given the circumstances, Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proved my sister killed Neil Marshall? Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't. Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. You certainly can't get dead people to testify. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Touché, Miss Sky. Of course. That only leaves us with one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or worse, Mr. Marshall did not die. Instantly, he may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one manner or another. That's impossible. Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? You've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer name that the victim may have left behind. This message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright, will you stop trying to prove my sister's a murderer? Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There's only one thing we seek, the truth. No matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us a piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased. This is the message left by the deceased. This is that blue badger from before, right? Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone's forgotten that this is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see faint trails of blood lines on the jar. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes, there is a line here drawn in blood. So what you're saying is that these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used a few precious moments of life to leave behind a message, when someone apparently wiped away. The blood must have seeped into the jar when the lines changed directions. Precisely, so all you need to do is connect these points. The victim's message will become apparent. No. No! Mr. Wright, what kind of message should the victim leave for us? Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written in these circumstances. His murderer's name. Oh, I see. It's the defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye. She worthy? Can't I say I didn't warn you? Chief Gans, do you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Ah, yes, were they? Because of you. An innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. Gah! But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That is undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important. Did you know we aren't defenders of justice? What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter, even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. But the prosecutor's office, never know that. How can you just stand there like it wasn't his fault? Order, order, order! Oh, God. Guy was pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. There you go, guys. Oh, my Lord Almighty. I'm going to save right here. And then we'll start this up. Well, there we go. That'll do it for today's episode. I don't know why I thought this case was so short. I forgot that I think we have like 3 dang more parts left, or at least 2 more. Yeah, so we're not done with this case just yet, but we're getting pretty darn close. So thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Boney Time for more content, especially more Ace Attorney. Also, please make sure to share this video far and wide so we get as many eyes on this series as possible. And I will see you all in the next one.